To work as much as possible, to spend hours on writing assignments, because writing is a very hard work and it doesn't come without many attempts.
What do you look for? First, that writing doesn't come easy for anybody. Identify goals that you have to work on. I have students who, for example, whose goal is to grasp the idea of a complete sentence. So that for example, they don't just say a sentence and then they write something and then they put comma and move to the next idea without realizing that there is a connection between the idea and the sentence. So identify a goal, and if that goal is I have to learn what a complete sentence is, that's a great goal, and it will probably take you some time to write a complete sentence and to realize the connection between an idea and a sentence. If you think you have that basic sense of, okay, I know what a complete sentence is, then practice with your style. How can I make my sentence more complex, or how can I make my writing more fluid, right? How can I make these connections between sentences make more sense? And finally, I think the final goal for everyone is to feel that they have their voice in writing, and that is a long process. And I think that it does entail, I guess, thinking about what do I really want to say, and be aware that what you really want to say will probably come out in second or third draft and not in the first one. So write more than one draft.
This question, I think it's best to study those writers closely that you really like, and in this case I would be really hedonistic. Just go after what you feel attached to, what you like, what you enjoy reading, and then study those writers and try to find out what it is that you like in them. And then, I mean, it doesn't mean that you can apply those things that you like just by transferring them into your own writing, but it makes you very aware of stylistic differences, and then some kind of decision will come out of it. Be it, okay, I like his writing, but it's not something that I could do, or okay, this is great. I can make use of it. And I think in many cases it's also good to try to sense what the grammar of a different language, in this case the English language, tells you what is possible, and not too much to stretch and bend the grammar of a foreign language just to make it fit to what you originally wanted to say in your native language. This, I think, it's sometimes it leads to very complicated and very winding sentences that are often too complex, and that cannot transmit what you really wanted to say. So, just read a lot.
I like to think of writing as the visible tracks of the thought process. This is to say that when I sit down to write, I oftentimes don't have a fully formed sense of what it is I'm going to express. I have some ideas, but they're not all polished. So for me, writing is a process of exploration and idea development. As a consequence of this, I find it important to sit down and begin my writing assignments in advance so that I have the opportunity to develop the thoughts. And at one point, a very wise writing instructor in English said to me that by the time we get to the conclusion, we oftentimes finally understand what it is we want to say. And at that point, it's oftentimes helpful to go back to the beginning and make sure that the material preceding the conclusion actually corresponds to that key thought, which has finally emerged at the very end. So I see writing as a process, as an experience to make tracks of our thought process. And again, specifically when writing in Russian, I try to turn off my mind as a speaker of English and get into the Russian frame of mind to the extent that that's possible. I try to relax and again rely on what it is I already know. Try to let that flow as opposed to feeling this compulsion to run to a dictionary or a thesaurus to get a new word. Right? Sometimes it's necessary, but when I'm starting the writing process in particular, I find it useful to rely on what's already in my mind.
Patience. It takes time, so just be patient that it will not happen overnight, that you will become proficient in your written language. So time, and you do need feedback from others. You can't do it on your own, even in your native language. You need the feedback to expand vocab, grammar, everything. Well, try to enjoy this process as well and be creative.